Pleasant morning to each and everyone. I am Jana May Hataas.
And I am Arjeline Alagos, and we are the discussants of Lesson 15 entitled The Qualities of a Good Reading and Text Comprehension Test.
Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to explain the interrelationship of test, measurement, and evaluation. Differentiate the purposes and qualities of a good reading and text comprehension test and identify measures to ensure the quality of a good reading and text comprehension test. Introduction. In designing a reading and text comprehension test, the reading teacher needs to have a thorough understanding of the teaching act. In terms of assessment, the reading teacher must understand the qualities of a good assessment tool or test so that he or she could prepare a well thought out instrument. Assured of the quality of a good assessment tool, the reading teacher could confidently use the information derived for their decisions in planning lessons. It states that the goals of the reading lesson, the teaching, learning activities, and the reading assessment task must all be congruent and consistent. No matter how well students perform on the test, there should be no use for the information if was poorly designed. The key differences between a test, measurement, evaluation, and assessment must be grasped in order to conduct an efficient evaluation of reading comprehension and text comprehension skills. Test. An instrument containing items or tasks intended to measure the achievement, knowledge, skill, or performance of learners as they learn reading. When a teacher asks learners to answer a 10-item reading comprehension test, after a reading test, the extent of understanding the selection is tested. For further explanation, test is a tool comprised of a set of questions administered during a fixed period of time under comparable conditions for all students. It can be aptly said that all tests are assessments, but not all assessments are tests. Measurement. A process as the teacher determines the number of items correctly answered by each learner. Information is collected as to how much score a learner has understood the reading selection. Example: Justin got 38 out of the 50-item test in English. So, in measurement, a number is assigned to quantify an individual's intelligence, personality, attitudes, or values according to Gaboyo 2012. When the teacher gives a score to the test of the students, it is termed measurement. Evaluation is done when the teacher makes a decision that a particular learner's score depicts an instructional level of performance. The process of interpreting the information collected useful in making decisions about a learner's performance. So, evaluation It is the process of judging what is good and what is desirable. Here, the teacher compares the data to a set of standards or learning criteria for the purpose of judging the worth or quality.
To classify or place learners in appropriate reading classes, test results determine who among the learners are at the frustration instructional and independent levels as exemplified by the goals of the Philippine Informal Reading Inventory. Knowing these levels of achievement helps teachers in the provision of appropriate instructional intervention. A test with this goal is known as a placement test. So this Philippine Reading Inventory uses a classroom-based assessment tool to measure and describe student reading performance. And this is given before a course or program begins to determine the specific needs of the learners. Qualities of a good student. To ascertain that test results are of educational value to the reading teachers, they must possess certain qualities. Test experts Bachman 1990, Bachman and Palmer 1996, Fletcher and Davidson in 2006 cite the major principles or characteristics of good test. So, these qualities of a good student implies that students should perform similarly or receive the same grade if they are exposed to many questions or at various times and locations. When a test consistency produces the same result across testing, it is said to be reliable. The first major principles or characteristics of good test is the validity. This first major, it is the ability of the test to measure what it intends to assess. To ensure a valid test, it must have content validity, and this content validity, it is a test items are based on the objectives and content of the lessons. So, to achieve this validity, the teachers refers task to the clearly defined learning objectives outcomes. He or she makes sure that the test is carefully constructed with clearly worded or logically arranged items. Content validity establishes the relevance and representativeness of the assessment instrument of the behavior or target construct, that it is designed to measure preparation of table of specification before test construction strengthens the content validity of the test. Another index is concurrent validity. The ability to correlate significantly test scores of the learners to their scores in another test which was taken within the same period. So, concurrent means occurring or existing side by side. This test is best to use when you want to diagnose the student's current criterion status. When the test scores provide a strong correlation with the scores of the learners in future testing in the same reading subject, test has predictive validity. This is determined by doing correlational regression or path analysis in which the coefficient between the test of interest and criterion assessment serves as an index. The second major principle of good test is the reliability. It is the ability of the test to provide consistent or stable info. It is usually dependent on developing items that thoroughly cover the essential competencies and topics discussed in class. According to Binaflor 2012, a reliable instrument secures consistent measures, regardless of the number of times it is conducted to the same respondents or examines in any given time interval. If the Coder-Richardson Formula 20 is used to determine how well the test measures what it intends to measure, that method is an internal consistency, which gauges how well the items in an instrument can produce consistent or similar results on multiple items measuring the same construct. When the test scores are divided into odd-numbered item scores and even-numbered item scores, then the two sets of scores are tested for correlation index. The method used is split half. The score is computed for each set of items and the relationship between the two sets of scores is examined. Last is the practicality, the ease of constructing the test as well as the ease of administering and scoring it. Objective tests are easier to construct and to score than the essay test. A printed written reading and text comprehension test is easier to administer than an oral test.
Conclusion: not just exams, assessments, and measures are used for evaluation. The full process of education is included. Tests and measurement are included in evaluation, but it also goes beyond them. It is dependent on measurement, but not the same as it. Reading is a crucial talent for anyone who wants to improve in all areas of worldly life. A good reader appreciates the value of this ability and uses it to advance. They relate to the words, understand their deeper meaning, pick up new information, and read as much as they can in a short amount of time. That's all for our topic. Thank you very much for listening. May everyone learned a lot from our discussed lesson, which is the qualities of a good reading and text comprehension test.